There's a new financial empowerment center located in the Wayne County Treasurer's Office on the 5th floor of 400 Monroe in Detroit.
If you or someone you know needs help with their finances, budgeting, and making monthly payments, the Detroit Financial Empowerment Center can help.
Wayne Metro Community Action Agency has counselors ready to provide free one-on-one counseling to help you address issues related to utility bills, taxes, and other financial matters. We can also help you improve your credit score.
Well, good morning. If you were looking for your weekly broadcast of the Ask Welfare Rights Program, you noticed that last week we were not here. And, of course, that was 2 days after the big power outage. But we're here today, and if you're looking for the broadcast of Ask Welfare Rights, we are both here. My name is Maureen Taylor, and I work with the Michigan Welfare Rights Organization, and I'm here with my colleague, the national chair of the National Welfare Rights Union, Marion Kramer, who's going to give an official good morning and a welcome. So, Marion, please say hello.
Let me say that we're so happy to be here this morning and not at home. You know, like I know a lot of people are trying to still get the water out of their houses. I want you to remember to have your pencil and paper together. That means you too, RJ. So remember that. For any information we might give you today, you can call in at 313-868-0342 or 313-868-0351 and 313-868-4336. And the website is www.tv33WHPR. Now remember.
.com.
Yeah, .com. Now remember, turn your TV down when you call in here, because we can't hear you and you can't hear us when that TV is still on. So we got quite a few things to talk about today. Where are we going?
Well, last Wednesday, about 4 or 4:30 in the afternoon, I was talking on the phone to my son, and he said something about the lights flickering. It was raining. It was raining, just getting started, but it was really coming down in sheets. And within about 10 or 15 seconds, the electricity in my house went out. And I had the cell phone. Thank God it was already plugged up. So I had the juice in it. Electricity had already made the cell phone workable, and it was charged. And that was the beginning of something, and a lot of us really suffered. Come to find out, there were more than 750,000 outages last Wednesday. 750,000, probably a few more. And I think that was what Rodney and some of the other folks said. That was their second largest outage in DTE history. It was that bad. And of course, we're talking about rain, and we're talking about winds. And 3,000 wires went down. 3,000
They're
wires
still
went
working.
down.
They are still working to try to get those wires up. But you know what, Maureen?
But wait, I don't think it's nobody else that's still off, is it?
I don't know.
Okay, yesterday there were about 10,000 that was still left, but they said that they would all be on by noon yesterday. So as far as I didn't listen this morning, but I think all of the outages across the service area, I think everybody's on now.
In this particular area in Detroit, and probably
their whole service area. You know, Jackie had some outages up there in Pellston.
Pass.
Way up there. So everywhere where there was any kind of rain and windstorm. So if it started here and then it went out. So out of 750,000, as far as I can tell, everybody's back on now. But boy, after, let's see, Wednesday and then Thursday and then Friday, DTE was in and around my block. And I didn't know that the lights had come back on till Friday evening. And I made a mistake.
What did you
Saturday,
do?
I looked, well, by the time I looked in the refrigerator again on Saturday, everything was frozen again, right? Because it looks like the lights came on sometime Friday night. So I said, well, this little salmon steak I got up in here, it look all right. It was frozen. So I thought it out, and I was thinking, I don't know about this, right? So I called my nurse, Michael. Michael, what do you think about this? Throw it out. Don't take a chance. So I'm going through the refrigerator trying to figure out what I can keep and what I couldn't. But that salmon, I'm going to try it. I did. I tried it, and about 2 hours later, I said, boy,
That's
don't
what had
do
you
that.
down.
Oh, man, I was
I think
down
I
and out.
told you too not to mess with that salmon.
Oh,
and you
boy.
were saying it's been in the freezer.
You know, yeah. And that was a mistake. So now I have the 2-day rule. If your lights go out for whatever reason, within 48 hours, you might be safe enough if you don't open the refrigerator, you don't open the freezer, 2 days. Anything after that, you have to toss it out. And I lost everything in the refrigerator. Except, I didn't throw out my cucumbers. I wanted my cucumbers. I had
Oh,
a few
my
left
God.
that Paul had gave me. I ate mine and I ate yours too because you was out of town. So
You
I
ate-
had 2 or 3 left. And a refrigerator came back on. And man, those cucumbers were delicious
are
Sunday,
good.
you know. So those cucumbers lasted those 2 days, 3 days that the service was off. And that worked. But the other thing, Marion, I had a brand new first time understanding of the concept of dry ice.
Oh yeah.
Now, I never had to deal with dry ice before, right? This is my first time. So, you know, Navarre goes to get dry ice, and the people are only selling a half a bag now because the lines are wrapped up all around 8 Mile Road. So, well, what do you do with the dry ice? So Navarre put the dry ice in one bag in the freezer, the other down in the refrigerator. It's second time we'd open things up. And by the following day, when I went in, I opened the refrigerator, and dry ice does not stay inside the bag. It forms moisture on the outside of the bag. So when I opened the refrigerator, it was a very beautiful picture. It looked like Winterland. Snowflakes all in the refrigerator. And I opened it up and I said, ooh, that's pretty. And dry ice, little flicks all over the place. And I sat there and looked and I thought, oh, that's so pretty. Oh, I'm losing all my food. I don't care how pretty it looks. And that was my first time understanding that dry ice will refreeze ice cream. Now, this I didn't know.
That's how they used to, and they still do. Some of the people use that dry ice to make ice cream
Well,
because they keep
you
churning
know, I
and
didn't think
churning
about
it.
that. When my grandmother used to
She
make
used
the
dry
dry ice,
ice.
she probably did. I
She
didn't
did.
think about that, you know.
They put it all the
You
way
know,
around.
around on the inside of
and-
the ice cream maker, and you had to churn that thing. I remember. But that was my first time experiencing the good and the bad with dry ice. So by the time the freezer comes back on and you have a bag of dry ice in the freezer, you open that up and you say, I wonder if this going to work. You touch something and your fingers,
Your fingers
stick
stick to it.
Oh, okay, I'm learning some scientific things. So a lot of people suffered a lot. There are dollars that are being promised from DTE. We'll send you some money. We'll let you know. All this kind of stuff. But, Marion, I think there's a bigger issue.
It sure
All right, now these connections that here's the wire, and it connect to whatever. It looks like the connections are going to have to be strengthened because what DTE was saying, all the explanations I've seen, and those that I heard directly, they say the connections can withstand winds up to 45 or 50 miles an hour. Well, these were 60, 70, 80 mile an hour winds that hit us a week ago Wednesday. So it looked like those connections going to have to
Come
be able
down.
to withstand higher wind velocities. You know, that's the only thing that happened. You know, that, and the other thing was your favorite, trees. Trees and tree limbs. I think you and I were talking about this. I remember when the garbage trucks used to go in the alley
Yes.
and used to pick up your trash in the alley. So you kept your alleys clean so that the trash man could go through there. And now I know you all have a lot of problems with, you know, beautiful trees, but you all got trees in your backyard.
Yeah.
And those trees grow up and they get entwined on those wires. A little bit of wind comes or a lot of wind comes, and you guys are hit. You guys are hit. So trees and better connections with DTE and those sockets and whatnot that have to be connected, they're going to have to figure out a way to make those things able to withstand serious wind gusts, because, my goodness.
See, the other thing too,
Now, Marion,
Maureen,
I know you love that chair, but
I
you
just
have
love
to, I know.
to swing
Uh-huh,
back.
and,
You can talk.
and we can't hear you. No, but come on up here, Mary. Yeah, come on up here.
We, you know, DTE, as well as, who was the other?
Consumers?
I don't know about, you know, I haven't had that much dealing with consumers. But, you know, there's this thing when you call DTE and they say, is it inside or outside?
That must
Well,
be a Highland Park question.
If it's inside, that's your problem, DTE tell you. And then if it's outside, it's a DTE problem. And, you know, they used to didn't do that. They used to just come on out and take care of the problem. Now they, you know, now the question of trying to get a electrician is one thing, and you know that's not no easy job.
Not anymore.
It's no easy job, and you know, in September is usually the time period that Jen and I would have my brother-in-law over, going through the house. He's the electrician, and making sure everything is right going into the wintertime. Well, he has retired. He's sick, you know, and trying to find that, like, if y'all know of a very good, honest electrician, please call Welfare Rights and leave their phone number for us.
Well, you are talking about the passage of time. And, you know, who was it? I remember So Sad. Remember So Sad? Clementine Barfield
Barfield
was the head of the organization called So Sad. And it was about children, minors, maybe didn't have to be minors, but kids in your household that ended up dying because of gunfire. And Clementine was all over this, you know, for a number of years. And it just makes me think about her and then the group that was very active, Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
Yes, they were
very
grew
busy. I don't know if they're around anymore. My guess is that they probably are. But, you know, when I say the passage of time, what I was thinking about is one of your good friends, Judge Perry.
Oh,
And every time we would go to a court after being arrested, mostly you, he would look and say, "Oh, there's my favorite he didn't call you defendant. My favorite defendant." He knew your name.
He knew my
Marion
address, too.
Jeanette Kramer.
29 McLean,
please-
Highland Park, Michigan.
Try not to give your address over the phone as often.
I know.
Try not to do it. Let's don't do that.
The
But
judge
anyway.
put it. You should
Yeah.
put it right out there.
Yeah, but we don't want to let these new people know that you guys got problems enough over there on your
Oh,
your
you're not
street.
lying. You're
You
not
know,
lying.
but just to think about how he was a member of Mothers and Fathers Against Drunk Driving and ended up getting killed by a drunk driver.
I tell you.
And the passage of time and how you know we had a respect for that guy. And here we got Penny Millender, and she didn't left us.
she left us.
You know,
And,
Oh.
and you know, within Penny's family, I mean, they had a family that their sister is still alive, but they had a family of people that were very active in the civil rights movement, and the whole question. Penny would support us on different things and
Go
what have
down
you.
there to
You know,
a courtroom.
I mean that family was like that. The mother, the daddy, and the children, and all, and so a lot of great people.
Passage of time.
And we got to do this just like Louisiana has done it in the past. It showed the people pictures of who have been out here fighting for the workers for years. And
Judge Alex
now,
Allen.
Mm-hmm.
Alex Allen, and had to wait. Robert, which was his court clerk, had to tell us that
Yeah.
he had passed.
He told, you were down
You
there
know?
with the homeless that day.
Oh my goodness, we had a homeless program where we would bring the homeless in, and the judge would pass judgment on them after we had explained their circumstances, and he would release them.
Uh-huh.
And
He
sin
understood.
no more. Oh,
he
did.
understood
Oh, he
what
did.
the homeless was going through.
Sin no more. That's what he was saying. And let folks go, and they had all kind of, usually going to the bathroom outside, and the ladies were prostituting and all this kind of stuff, and we would bring them in, and he'd read the names, and are you guilty? How do you plead guilty or not guilty? Guilty. Well, are you sure that? What happened?
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right. So, guilty because you are guilty. Yes, I'm guilty. Did anybody promise you anything? Nobody promised me anything. So let's be sure. So and so, you are guilty of whatever the charge was because you were guilty and you are guilty, and you throwing yourself on the mercy of the court. And so many of our complaints, yes, guilty with mercy. The funny days, boy. But I remember when the judge would, Chief Judge Alex Allen, and he'd be having a full courtroom, and he would stop court, and he would just tell everybody, we're not going to have court for the next period of time.
30 minutes.
Because we've got a special program. And he would educate folks sitting out in the audience about what was about to happen and what a loss it was when he left. I mean, just think about the passage of time.
And Goodman, let me say, the old man Goodman,
Attorney.
had when he was alive. I know he was genuine. That hurt when he left, because although his son had taken over and have been always doing a damn dynamic job, that is same thing that is he learned from his father and what have you. But the last time I saw him alive, we all got arrested down at the newspaper thing. I was in that group. You were in the group with the women. I'm in the group with all these people, other people.
Newspaper strike.
And I said, I looked up front and I said, what are you doing on the bus? How are we going to get out of jail and you on the bus? He said,
He's supposed to be the one to help you get out of jail, and he on the bus, arrested too. Well, what you doing on the bus? How we going to get out if you on the bus?
He said, look, I am 90 years old, and I think I have I have the opportunity now for the first time to get on the bus
Get arrested with
and
everybody
get
else.
arrested with everybody else. I mean, that man was really tremendous.
A caliber of people that over the years, passage of time.
And
Think about some of these people. I had my mind on Miss Eastside.
oh Lord,
And Miss Eastside calling into this station,
no, it ain't like that.
demanding that people on the east side of Detroit get their just desserts, and that justice, I remember they were having flooded basements then.
Yeah.
And she would be calling in, telling people where they could go to get the application for reimbursement, and just an advocate all the time, demanding that social justice come to low-income black folks all the time,
And it's money, Maureen.
Passage of time.
I'm gonna stay on this until we get, and you know, I'm glad Grace is on it too.
All right, you gonna forget now. You what are you
This
talking about?
money, you know, that came from D.C.
Federal dollars.
for all these different cities and what have you. What we have found out that poor people, not just poor people, but people in general, are never brought to those meetings and understand what that money is for. Because we have the right to speak at those particular meetings and say, we need this particular thing in the community, we need that in the community and stuff. Now, they don't do it because these mayors don't set up meetings for us to participate. That is not their money. It's our money.
Well, mayors and council.
Yeah,
Council's
I'm talking
supposed to
both
be
of 'em.
both
of 'em.
the voice of the people.
Huh.
But you never, I remember when all those community benefit programs were coming.
Yes.
And they never surfaced. And we would be trying to find out, there'd be an announcement about a particular program, and we wouldn't know anything about it.
Nothing about it.
And council members, you know what, I got a YouTube piece sent to me. I don't know if you saw it or not. And Steve Hood, who just passed, commentator Steve Hood, Nicholas Hood
Son.
Senior, son, 58 years old, a little bit too early, but I guess he had been sick for a while. But he did an interview with Anthony Adams. And have you seen it yet? All right, because I got it, and I only looked at it for the first time last night. Excellent interview. And to just think about how many, oh Lord, when we first met Anthony Adams, it was when we were at the Hannon House. We knew him before that,
I knew
but
Adam before.
yeah, but you remember when we were at the Hannon House and Mr. Spence and Mr. Frazier were calling us about Bicentennial Towers and Williams Pavilion,
Yeah.
putting out people when they changed management.
Yes.
And was taking those senior items. I remember the first time I ever saw an eviction crew throw out a wheelchair.
Not
I
only
never
a
saw
wheelchair.
nothing, a
The
wheelchair.
the man's
Wheelchair.
didn't care
whoever it
about
was.
pictures that they had of their family and their parents and stuff.
Family
All out
pictures.
there, the city was even throwing that away. And the people were standing right there and asking them, can I have my pictures of my mama and all of them? Please let me get them. They wouldn't.
I
It
never
took
saw
us.
nothing like that.
We
you know?
stayed there and we made them pick those pictures up
Yeah, yeah.
for the people that they illegally was putting out.
And we ended up calling Anthony Adams to say, look, we're going to need a U-Haul or whatever it was we were needing at the time. And we're going to need cash. And, I'm on my way. And within an hour, there he was with dollars in his pocket paying for U-Haul help and paying for folks to help put people's belongings back in their apartments. All those kinds of things. And, thinking about the passage of time, that's 20, 25 years ago, looking at that particular period. And then right after the previous mayor to that time, Kwame Kilpatrick, after he was arrested, then Anthony Adams called you and I and come down here and what do you want? Well, just come down here. I need to talk to y'all. And then with his ink pen and his pad, what is it that we need in Detroit? Because I'm now the interim mayor. Okay. Water, no more water shutoffs. Okay. Housing, we need affordable housing. Okay. Transportation, seniors need to be able to get discount rides. Okay. And going down the list. What's the other child's name? Melissa. Forgot Melissa's last name that was working with Waterworks. I can't think of her last name.
I know who you're
right
talking
now.
about.
Damasky.
Yeah, she's
All right.
still around.
She's still around. And to think about the 25, probably 30 years ago, that Anthony Adams called on the community and those of us that have been working in the community to say, what is it that we need? Because he lived downtown in Detroit. And again, thinking about the passage of time, I remember when Call 'Em Out Agnes and Kim Meeks and oh Lord, what's the child's name? Maurice and some of these other folks. Mary Desmukes and Mary's
Mary
friend
Desmond.
Irma.
Uh-huh.
Irma passed away a couple of days ago.
Oh, no.
Irma was 92 years old. And I remember Irma always had her hair laid, and Irma and Mary were the best of friends. Mary left first with some kind of cancer. And Irma, Agnes called me. Irma left 2, 3, 4 days ago. I'm not sure if that is exactly what happened because maybe Agnes just found out. But I remember Tashi
Oh, yeah, Tashi.
and Tashi's girlfriend Linda.
And
We were
Taria.
all of those demonstrations because boy, that call 'em out was a wrecking crew and just wonderful folks in there pointing their finger at misconduct by government officials. On top of that, passage of time, Miss Irma, boy, and look at some of the folks we have. Now Alice Jennings, our attorney, her brother Henry. And I don't know if you looked at, I was looking it up yesterday. He's at the Harris Funeral Home after you told me where it was, and I was looking at the obituary online.
Oh, you found it?
Yeah, I finally found it. And Mr. Jennings, Henry Jennings, he was in the service. He was in the reserves, coached. You know, all around kind of, you know,
That's
folks
another
that just
powerful
do,
family that has
you know,
been out
powerful family, you know. Oh, there it is. She didn't come and get it yet, huh?
here. No, that's,
Okay.
she came?
No,
Okay.
she didn't. That's why he put it
Oh,
on
I
top of the
couldn't see
bag,
what
you
it
know.
was.
So, powerful family, the Jennings family, going back legally with attorney privileges and helping out low-income people across certainly the Wayne County area. Always lawsuits with the water department. Always suing DTE all the time. And just think, you know, look at the passage of time and how things happen. I remember when Kwame Kenyatta, former councilman, he's gone too now. I remember when he left and went to Jackson, Mississippi. And I remember when he was down here in one of them programs, and a very popular TV radio host, and Agnes and the team had voted him to get a Sambo Award, and it was the watermelon. Remember that one? And he had the watermelon
Oh,
on
that
the
was a
desk
good
and it
one.
fell, and it was almost a fight that broke out. And if it wasn't for RJ's kids, they wouldn't grab everybody and say, hold on, we can fix this. But Marion, you remember those call them out dinners and those parties?
Yeah, they were great.
Oh, packed. And
She was getting us so ready to always get ready for this particular demonstration and stuff
who you
like
talking
that.
about?
Agnes,
Oh,
when, you
yeah.
know.
And a Big Les would be talking about the programs and whatnot and the individual people that were some Tyrone, talking about the different people that he thought were negative influences and whatnot. And I'm just kind of going through in my own head the passage of time. We lost Tyrone. And the capacity to develop programs and whatnot came up the other day. I was talking with Miss Theo, and she was talking about a on-air personality that made the statement, there's no credible black leadership in Detroit. And how that
When was
caused, well, I have to tell you off air.
Okay.
And that question came up, and I've been thinking about it. You know, what black leadership or what progressive leadership do we have in Detroit? What black leadership or what progressive leadership do you all have in Highland Park?
Huh.
And what black leadership or any kind of leadership do people have that maybe live in Hamtramck? Now, we all off into this Afghanistan war.
Oh, please.
And the thing, you know, so many things about it, you know, just horrible to look at all the stuff that's unwinding. But, you know, Reverend Barber talks about decreasing funds going to the military. And sometimes I think, Marion, that that's a concept that's too far. People don't quite understand it. What does it mean? And I think most of the times it is, because I don't always understand it and what it means. I know what the concept means. But to hear people talking now that for the last 20 years we've been in Afghanistan and trillions of dollars have been spent. And now folks want to know, caller, hold on just 1 second. Callers now want to know, not callers, but individuals now want to know we done spent trillions with a T of dollars, and we built roads, and we built hospitals, and we built schools, and all this kind of thing. And now the Afghani people are going to have to manage their own affairs without all this outside interference. And look at what trillions of dollars could have done. Trillions with a T.
Mm-hmm. And see, the thing about it, Maureen, the people are coming here and other places and stuff like that. The United States is not going to treat them right.
Well, they don't know it yet, but they about to be.
Get ready to join the rest of us.
You know, you're going to learn what the man said. You're going to learn today.
Uh-huh.
Caller, you've been so patient. You are on the air, caller, and thank you for calling Ask Welfare Rights. You are on the air.
Good morning.
Good morning, Miss Gracie.
How are you doing this morning,
Good.
ladies?
Can you talk a little louder?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Okay, I was just calling to talk a little bit about Highland Park and some of the things that are going on, and what the Human Rights Coalition is planning.
Go right ahead.
Okay. Now, you know, we've had such a horrible time dealing with infrastructure, just like other communities.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we have the lead service line, and we have water main problems, and also, you know, every time there's a storm, the power goes out, particularly in the section over by Davison, east of Davison, you know. And here we have the power station in Highland Park. And you would think that, you know, it would be more reliable in Highland Park, but it isn't. Yeah. So we have been talking about having a community meeting for a while.
Mm-hmm.
We tried to get the council to have to organize one because the mayor hasn't had a town hall in a very long time.
Okay.
And people are asking questions, you know, about how the repairs are being done on the infrastructure in the city. You know, we don't know, as Miriam was talking about, the money that's being given the American Rescue Plan.
Yes.
You know, as far as I can see, it's just being used to prop up the city, you know, because of the lack of funding in Highland Park.
Now, these plans, these federal dollars, are coming almost directly from the feds straight to the communities. And then you have these individuals in between that are supposed to have access to whatever those dollars are. Now, in Detroit, you know, we've got the CARES Act money, CARES, and future spending money, and the American Rescue Plan, and all of these kinds of things. And the one that you're referencing about infrastructure, I don't know how they do it in Highland Park, me and these allergies. But in Detroit, I can see a battle brewing in terms of how we're going to get in between money for dollars, lead line service, repairs, and all this kind of stuff. How are we going to get in there and have some say about how these infrastructure pipelines having to do with water, how are they going to be addressed, and who's going to get the contract to do that kind of stuff? And you know, it shouldn't be private companies.
No.
City water workers. For Highland Park, I think you got about 2 left.
No, we got more than you have.
Y'all got 2 city walkers and workers. I said walkers in Highland Park. But Miss Gracie, are you aware of any invitations to Highland Park residents to talk about contractual obligations? Who's going to get those contracts to start repairing and replacing those lines? Anything like that come up yet? Marion says no.
No, I haven't heard anything.
And it's been going on ever since the time they didn't, ever since they got that money as to what they would do. And I heard that the mayor said he needs some new cars, 4 more cars for the police department. No, let's see what all this stuff that people have had to go through this summer with all this water and stuff that you are creating more problems for the folks that have had to end up with this lead in their houses and all that type of stuff. The people of Highland Park should be the first order of priorities, and given the opportunity, and I've been saying this ever since we found out about this. Thank goodness that Flint called us and told us about it. I didn't hear nothing like that from our particular what you call it?
The mayor?
No, not the mayor, as well as the council. No one made a big fuss around that for the people of Highland Park. So again, here Gracie and myself and Linda and Pat and all of us got to get out there again and ring those bells and get folks together and say, come to this meeting.
Well, now, Gracie, are you talking about the need of an advisory board, a citizen advisory board in Highland Park to take a look at how monies should be spent? Instead of just the mayor and council, why don't you all have an advisory board to talk about here are our recommendations in terms of how these federal dollars connected to pipes should be spent? See, we're arguing that in the Detroit area. We need an advisory board.
That's not a bad idea.
No, that's not. That's a very good idea.
That's a very good idea that we need something like that, because the money should not be going in their hands in the first place. It should be able to, again, and I'm going to say it again, go have something to do with what the people want.
Well, the people need to be on an advisory board.
Oh, yeah.
So you all determine, okay, the priority should not be new cars for the police. We can put that off.
Yeah.
Priority should be, and then you all list what those things are. I mean, that's the kind of discussion that we're having in the Detroit area now. An
You mean
advisory
Detroit
board.
finally did that? What about the taxes?
No, we're
What
just
kind of,
talking about it.
Okay.
Don't none
What kind of
exist.
authority does an advisory board have? Or you can just make recommendations, or what?
Well, I don't know.
It's
We
according to what the people on the advisory board come up with, and the city and the people in Highland Park would have to vote a lot of that stuff in.
Well, see, an advisory board is not a legal entity,
The mayor could set it up.
And so when we talk about authorization, Ms. Gracie, I'm thinking back about Gwen Mingo.
Oh, yeah.
And Gwen Mingo and some of those folks over there in that community pulled together an advisory board to talk about renovations and demolition over there in that community where they were living. And the advisory board came with a number of recommendations, and the city of Detroit wasn't interested. So who authorizes that? I don't know. Ms. Gracie, you familiar with, I don't know, let's see, you all don't have a public housing development in Highland Park, do you? Like we got Jeffries, like we got
No, we don't
Brewster
have-
Douglas, you don't
we
have
don't-
that.
not
All right,
no more.
you remember, Gracie, I don't know if you recall or not, but Marion, you remember, Coleman Young authorized those tenant organizations to be an advisory board. and they were authorized to do some stuff.
Yeah, but that came straight to, that was part of the program and stuff here.
Yeah, but
It
that's
came-
what Gracie's asking.
Advisory board was connected to all that HUD money and stuff
Tenant
like
money,
that
yeah.
that was coming in here. And see, the
That's what Gracie's talking about.
Uh-huh.
Who authorizes?
and you know, the mayor can authorize it. We can have to look at the
Y'all gonna have to look at that.
look at it and see in this state in this city, who authorized that type. But he can set up all the committees he need, as well as the,
We don't want
Council.
a committee under the mayor.
now,
Well, no, but
now,
but
we're not
Gracie,
talking about being
when-
under the mayor.
When you talk about who, where would the authority come from? And I think what we're talking about something that right now does not exist.
No, it don't exist.
And so Coleman Alexander Young, the Honorable Coleman Alexander Young, he was able to authorize tenant councils at the Jeffries, at Brewster Douglas, at Parkside.
he did-
And those, it was
did
coming out
not.
of federal dollars.
It was federal dollars
Yeah.
under HUD.
Yeah, but I'm saying it was
But
federal
he didn't
dollars.
authorize it.
He authorized them to make recommendations. That's what I mean.
Uh-huh.
And he was able to do that. Ruth used to talk about that. So, Miss Gracie, if the question is there's an advisory board that is sanctioned or comes together, who would be authorizing that? There's got to be a discussion with the Highland Park City city charter. Y'all have to look, Marion, they can wait. Oh, somebody trying to get in the door. All right, so Miss Gracie, I'm thinking about this advisory board question. So,
So we should think about it and talk to some folks in Detroit or other cities who've actually set up one, how it works. You know,
Yeah.
and if we would have some input
Yes.
into how monies are being used.
yes, and it looks like that's the thing that we're always missing. You know, monies come, they're supposed to be of assistance to the people. We're just talking about the trillions of dollars that have gone to build all of these different things. And the folks in Afghanistan, they needed all of that. They needed every bit of that
Let's look
and
at
some
it.
more.
Let's look at it. Detroit, we need to pull these places, same thing you've been talking about, pull these different organizations as well as folks in these different areas, not only hear from one another, but at the same time, come up with the plans for these cities and the municipality, because people are beginning to suffer in places that you would have never thought before. And you know, and the thing about it, I'm still angry about this. Folks don't be told the truth by city council, nor by the mayor, and they always go get their friends and be put on certain committees and that type of stuff. So you know, I think we're gonna have that
Advocating
meeting.
for an advisory.
Yeah.
Maybe advocating for an advisory committee to not only make advice or to offer advice, but you know, to request records. You know, and somebody says, Miss Gracie, you all ordered a speed bump. I'm getting a speed bump over there in my neighborhood. And there's a certain amount of money that's attached to a speed bump. Up until now, we never could get one because they say it's so expensive. And it never occurred to me, Miss Gracie or Marion, to ask, well, let's see the document that says one speed bump costs this amount of money, and have it broken down so we would be able to understand, okay, this is why it costs that kind of money. And then all of the hidden figures, I think that's what Marion is referencing, all the hidden dollars and hidden requests that might be in that bottom line. We don't ever think to ask for what's the rundown in terms of how much money does this thing cost, and let's see what it is. So, Ms. Gracie, I hope...
Can I ask you and talk to you about something else, too?
I want you to. Go ahead.
Okay, there's this Lewa Highland Park lawsuit settlement.
Wait just a minute. Ladies and gentlemen, Marion has gotten up and walked off the set. Okay, go ahead, Gracie. Completely avant-garde. Now go ahead. Miss Gracie, what are you
Okay.
thinking?
Highland Park and, the Detroit Water Authority, which became GLEWA, they've been in suit for over like 25 years. And it's been settled, but every time it's settled, somebody appealed, right?
Yeah.
But this last time, it was appealed by Highland Park and settled, and GLEWA owes Highland Park $1 million.
Okay.
They have been saying over the years that Highland Park owed a lot of money. Over 25 years they've been battling. And there's been this federal, back in, like 25 years ago, there was a settlement between the Detroit Water Department and Highland Park.
Yes.
Saying that Detroit could not charge Highland Park over a certain amount of money. So now it's been discovered, or the argument has been, that Detroit billed Highland Park $56 million.
Mm-hmm.
Highland Park paid $30 million. Now, all this time, they've been saying Highland Park's a deadbeat. Different cities been wanting to sue Highland Park. You know what I mean?
Yes,
because
yes.
they're saying that Highland Park owes all this money. We're deadbeat. But
Yeah.
so this latest settlement has said that Detroit has owed Highland Park over $16 million from 2004 to 2015.
Okay.
And some kind of, based on, I guess, all the money that Highland Park, has been paying, blah, 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 the court has said the GLEWA should pay Highland Park $1 million, but they won't do it.
Well, see, it's part of what this discussion is that we're having today. A passage of time. We've been through these activities before. And being involved in these activities looked like we would learn a different way of managing municipal activities. So if the Great Lakes Water Authority is supposed to be compensating Highland Park for expenses of some sort, and if that's what a judge has ordered, you just wonder how come it's not happening. And this whole question, I mean, just think about it, Gracie. I hate to, keep you on the line this long, but just think about all of these federal dollars that are available to cities across the country right now. And we having all this trouble. We can't get the rental payments out. All these folks are behind on their rent because of COVID, and there's money in the pipeline to get to this. And then now we find out, a year later, 8 months, 9 months later, that those billions of dollars are still in the fund. And for whatever reason, it doesn't make any sense to me. We can't get it out. And the other headline says landlords are in court suing tenants for not paying rent, and the money's available. And so what's the missing link? What's the problem why we can't get what we want out of this? So advisory board, that might be a way, one way to try to release some of these dollars for these different programs. But I don't know another way of trying to make these federal dollars available, these state dollars available, these city dollars available, so that the people can benefit from them. So make your final comment.
Yeah, well, we are planning to have some kind of community meeting, and hopefully other organizations will join with us in this meeting, as well as, we need the council to help us, get information out and get information to us,
Yes, ma'am.
about the what's going on with the water department, what's going on with this lawsuit, that has been appealed and settled, help us get the money.
Okay.
It's more than us. We can scream and stuff, but this has been going on for a year, and we haven't heard anything about it as a community.
All right.
But
well,
now when they need help, they're screaming, we need to help.
well, yeah.
We need to make some noise, to help them get this.
But the
But
cow.
we don't even know the real
Yeah. You don't know the details.
You know what I mean?
You don't know the
You
details.
want to, and
Yeah.
you feel as if people are trying to, just
They're trying to hide that money and make us
so
forget.
anyway,
Well,
and what are
Miss-
they going to do with it once they get it?
well, they generally find a way.
Yep.
Figure out some kind of method. Miss Gracie, sorry to keep you on the line so long, but the problems in Detroit seem to be the same problems in Highland Park.
Yeah.
Too many things that we don't understand. Miss Gracie, thank you for your comments this morning.
Oh, you're welcome. Well, thank you for allowing me to voice.
Appreciate you.
Okay.
All right,
I'll
thank
talk
you
to
now.
later.
Mhm.
Bye-bye.
All right. So now, Marion, when you've got money available and you know that the money is available and you know where it is, the problem becomes how do you get that money released from that source so it can go do what that money was intended to do. And as of this point, the only thing I can think of is at Citizens Advisory Board, Advisory Council, something, so that residents can, however it's set up, residents could get a list of this is how much money is available. Here's the process you have to go through to get it released. I heard the mayor of Detroit the other day talking about FEMA has given out some $40 million already, something like that, to residents in Detroit. They've gotten it. They have gotten it. But I'd like to see a list if that's at all possible. Caller, you've been very patient. You're on the air. We're down to our last 1 minute. Go. Caller.
Yes.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, good morning, sisters.
Good morning.
This is the same kind of thing that happened years ago with the empowerment zone.
Yes,
You remember over $250 million
that's
in
right.
empowerment zone bonds that were supposed to be used for economic development of the neighborhood was never spent, never expended. And I was a member of the Citizen District Council.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's what it was called. Citizens District Council. And it was your task to take a look at whatever those dollars were and to make recommendations on how it should be spent.
What happened?
Oh, well, all right. He was just giving us some information. And I think that that's what that task was. But it looks to me like that should be, yeah, there it is right there. It looks to me like that is what was supposed to happen. That Citizens District Council, a Citizens Council, a Citizens Advisory Board set up to be able to say these many dollars are available and here's our recommendation on how these dollars should be spent. I don't know.
Well,
another
even
way.
if, you got to watch your back too on some of those Citizen District Council, because one thing Coburn was good at was organizing, but with the people around him. But the people in the community need to be able to get those district councils back, because it gives the people the opportunity to really know what's going on in the city and be able to voice their opinions. But see, I haven't seen one darn mayor that has done that. If it is, it's, again, I'm going to say it again, it's their partners that they know in the community around in their area. That's happened here. It's happened in Detroit. It's all over the place. So if you're interested in something, as far as finding out what's going on in your community, again, we will this week try to get the place for a meeting. And if you're interested, then we can call. You can call down to
welfare rights.
Give the number.
I will in just a minute. Caller, you are the last caller of the day. Quickly.
Yes, you said FEMA gave out almost $40 million. I believe they'll get about $20 million of it back because a lot of the applications they put down that the people wanted to move, and they gave them money to move, and the people don't want to move. They didn't even know that was on the application until they got the little the paper, itemized paper that they sent you.
You talking about FEMA?
Yes.
Yes. That's the dilemma that we're in. Caller, you're very observant. Thank you very much. Okay. All right. See, Mary, that's I think that's the issue.
And that's how the kids comes into these fights too. They begin to understand what's happening in the community. Well, I think somebody said just briefly, and I like what you said about that bump thing, but
speed bump.
Yeah. Who was it? But this week, someone, it was Valerie. It was a good opportunity to hear that, and that was that all these young people that's going up and down the street with these cars and stuff like that, the city haven't stepped up and say, if, apparently this is a problem, why don't we form a place for them to be able to drive these cars late at night or something like that, or get something for them, and begin to get,
accommodated,
all right. It's but let Dan Gilbert come there.
No, he can't drive anymore.
Hey,
it'll never be him again.
Well, anyway, I bet they'll break their neck trying to give him what he wants.
Marion, you have 30 seconds to say goodbye.
Good night.
Oh, well, okay. You need us down at Welfare Rights, please call 313-964-0618, 313-964-0618. For those of you that called us today to share a thought or two, thank you very much. Lord willing, the creek don't rise. By next Friday, we'll see you again, and we'll tell you bye.
There's a new financial empowerment center located in the Wayne County Treasurer's Office on the 5th floor of 400 Monroe in Detroit.
If you or someone you know needs help with their finances, budgeting, and making monthly payments, the Detroit Financial Empowerment Center can help.
Wayne Metro Community Action Agency has counselors ready to provide free one-on-one counseling to help you address issues related to utility bills, taxes, and other financial matters. We can also help you improve your credit score.